Whoa, good morning. How you all doing? Welcome to Stretford Post. I'm Sal Warner, and this is Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me this morning. Monday is Monday. I know it's Monday, guys. I know it's strenuous, it's strainful, but we got a little bit of positive news to come out of Manchester United, haven't we? Andre Onana has signed for Trabzonspor in Turkey, guys, as declared, as first mentioned on Stretford Post. On Thursday, of course, guys, he has decided to go to Trabzonspor, which I think is a great move for him. Now, it's really great that we got this toxic relationship over between us and Onana, of course. Look, I have nothing against Andre Onana. I think Onana is a great person. I've heard great stories about him being a great character, etc., etc. But that doesn't win you football matches. And he's cost us a lot of points. He's cost us Champions League. He's cost us the Europa League final last season, of course, guys. But what I will do, guys, because we are a classy bunch, I will wish him the best of luck, and I hope he does really well at Trabzonspor, of course, because that is what it's all about, of course, because we want his valuation to be as high as possible. We don't want him to be, you know what, fading into the abyss, and we can't get rid of him next year. It does look like Onana won't play for Manchester United next year, although Onana, his agent, there are murmurings. There is a little bit of rumours about how Onana feels that Ruben Amorim won't be there next season. Blah, blah, blah. You know, all that rubbish, all that malarkey. Amorim will be here next season, guys. Let me tell Onana. Sorry to burst Onana's bubble and his agent's bubble, but you're not going to be the goalkeeper for Man United, no matter what happens with Amorim anyway. You're not good enough, bruv. You don't take accountability. You're not aware of yourself in regards to what you've done at Man United. You're pound for pound, statistically, Man United's worst goalkeeper in Premier League history. And that is a fact, guys. Like, not to mention everything else on top of that. But as we are a classy bunch, as I did say, guys, we are going to wish him the best of luck, and hopefully it moves on from there. Of course, guys. Wishing the best of luck at Trabzonspor, of course, guys. But another thing, guys, this is not the end of the clear out at Manchester United. Manchester United are fully aware of the problems at the football club, and Manchester United are fully behind Ruben Amorim. Key here, fully behind Ruben Amorim. This is the type of manager that we've needed for so long now. The type of manager that says, I don't want that player, I cannot work with that player, this player needs to leave, and that is how it should be. I mean, we haven't had something like this since Alex Ferguson, guys. Sir Alex Ferguson was the last time we had something like this. A manager who's ruthless, who gets rid of, even if they're fan favourites and you're going to make yourself unpopular, he gets rid of them. That is the type of manager we need. And getting rid of player FC and all this nonsense. We want players who want to play for the football club. And if you're not on board, then you know what? Goodbye. And that's how it should be. You ride or die with the manager, or you don't. You die. You go somewhere else. Absolutely. Not quite literally, but you go somewhere else and sign for another football club if you're not ready to put in the shit for Manchester United and give 100% for the cause, of course. So I'm delighted. It has been a while since we had this kind of removal of the players. They're not gone. They're not been sold. That is one thing that's a little bit concerning, but we can't expect them to be every single one of the players to be sold. We can't expect every single 10, 15 players to leave. They have to go on loan, unfortunately, given that most player teams don't want to pay the money for the likes of Onana, for the likes of Anthony and Sancho and things like that. But, you know, we have done okay. We have done okay to get rid of the toxicity. That's not to say there isn't more in there. Obviously, we've got Tyrone Malacia, still part of the bomb squad, as we know. Obviously, Luke Shaw, who's still at the football club. I mean, since Louis van Gaal is still at the football club. And, guys, like, we need to move on from the mediocrity. The comfort zones are gone now. The end of the comfort zone. Comfort zone United. That needs to leave now. We got to start moving on to something new. And I'm really confident about Ruben Amorim. I've been more confident about Ruben Amorim than I have with any other manager post Sir Alex Ferguson. I really have. I'm so confident with the way he's doing things that I think this guy is going to be successful. This guy will be, by hook or by crook, will be a successful manager for Manchester United. You watch, guys. He will be a successful manager for Man United. So let him do his thing. Let him remove who he needs to remove. Let him keep who he needs to keep. And let's watch it progress. Let's watch it evolve. Let's see how it goes, guys, because that is what it's all about now. Back in our manager. Look, we got no more toxic. Anyone who want to be toxic at this football club, you know where the door is. And that's how it should be. And one thing I like about this, we're not giving players time now. We're not giving them, give them another year, give them another year, give them another year. 2 years. If you foul at this football club, you are out the door. Give you 2 years, just 2 years. If you foul, at the door. And that's how it should be at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm happy today because you know what? I've seen signs. Guys, absolutely. And it's not ace of base. I've seen the sun. But it is actually quite a nice feeling that, you know what, we are acting like a proper football club with Ruben Amorim in charge. Because this, let's not get it twisted, guys. This is Ruben Amorim's doing. This is Ruben Amorim. This is no one else. This is Ruben Amorim. He's getting the backing, fantastic. But Ruben Amorim is the guy. He's the one who is doing this, guys. And this is what we have to remember, that this guy is the one who's taking it upon himself. He's putting all the pressure on himself to get rid of the players that need to be get rid of, that no other manager has done so far. So I'm delighted. I am over the moon, and I hope he is a success, because it's the type of character that we need. It does give me it does give me a little bit of nostalgia in regards to Alex Ferguson. It really does. I was around at that time, guys. I was around in the late 80s, and I remember watching Sir Alex Ferguson, and I remember thinking, oh, what? He's getting rid of that player. He's getting rid of that player. Not least the class of 92, of course. 95, 96, when he got rid of the likes of Chelsea's ball, Ince, Mark Hughes, you know, and these players, of course, guys. So, you know, I'm delighted, and I think that we can progress now, and we can start moving forward without the toxicity at this football club. I think that's very, very important. Let me big up everyone in the stream. I hope everyone's doing fine. I hope you're good. Let me just please say hello to Ty. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good morning. Sir Matt rebuilt United after the Munich. So Alex got rid of the drinking culture. I honestly believe Amorim will be a legend of this football club by changing the wrong mentality and the snowflake attitude. Absolutely, Ty. Spot on. Snowflake attitude that we've had over the years, that, you know what, he's trying to delete, he's trying to erase. We are following in the footsteps of the likes of Sir Matt Busby, of the likes of Alex Ferguson, and all these managers, these two managers in particular, built football clubs. They built Manchester United. Alex Ferguson built Man United a number of times. So Matt Busby had adversity. He had to build Man United. He had no choice but to rebuild Manchester United. And I see this in a smaller way at the moment. Obviously, Sir Matt Busby, what he went through and stuff like that was a huge thing, given the Munich disaster, etc. You know, absolutely. This is where we come from, by the way. This is where Man United was from that. And this is what everyone needs to remember when we're talking about Man United, right? I'm seeing characteristic similarities with Ruben Amorim, with Alex Ferguson, with Sir Matt Busby and all these people. And I'm delighted. I have to say, guys, I'm really delighted. I'm delighted what's going on. I'm happy what's going on. And let's see how it unfolds, of course. Absolutely. Big up Tyborg. Big up yourself. Big up all the members, guys. Big up the members of the house. Big up Helge. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, Salino. Big up Helge. How you doing? Not only has he been ruthless, but more importantly, ruthless to the right players. Absolutely gets rid of the same ones who would get rid of, has common sense. This is what we need. We need to get rid of those players, and especially the virus at this football club, which for me is Player FC. Player FC is something that we needed to get rid of a long, long time ago, because obviously people are more inclined to support their player than the actual football club, to be honest with you. And people need to start supporting the football club and to stop looking at individuals, stop individualizing it and think, what's good for this football club? The only thing I would throw up in the air and say, well, that was the wrong decision, was Bruno Fernandes. Now, people would say, well, Bruno Fernandes didn't want to leave. Bruno Fernandes took 2 weeks to decide if he wanted to stay at Man United. And he openly said that if Man United didn't want him, he would leave. That's a fact, right? So the only thing I would say is that Bruno Fernandes is the only one that I would say, well, he didn't, you know, we could have got 90 million for him and blah, blah, blah. But you can't get rid of everyone, and you can't get, you know, your favorite players in, your favorite players out all the time. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Absolutely. Big up Randall. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Good to see everyone in the house, of course, guys. Tyborg, Amorim has the support from the owners in terms of freedom to get rid of the wrong players. This wouldn't happen before our owners. Before our owners are probably the worst in history, but they got this right. It's all down. I don't give it in regards to the owners. The owners only have to do what they have to do. I'm giving it to Ruben Amorim. I'm not giving nothing to those bloody owners. No. It is all down to Ruben Amorim. And Ruben Amorim, you know why? Because Ruben Amorim did this at Sporting Lisbon. He did exactly the same at Sporting Lisbon. Nothing. That's a given. They should support their manager. They got their manager. They should support their manager. It's all down to Ruben Amorim. And that is what it is. Because he's done the same at Sporting Lisbon. Absolutely. And that is what it's all about, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. One of the originals in the stream. I hope you're good. Good. Xavier, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. This time around, nothing like to changing managers just to sell players who are not performing. No more changing managers. We've gone past this now, isn't it, Xavier? No more of this. We're done with sacking managers. Of course, we're done with that. We don't want any more of that. It's about time we started doing something different. which is backing the manager, guys. Backing the manager, and let's see this out. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. None of the nonsense, of course. Good morning, Ephraim. How you doing, Sal? I think 2 years is enough to know the players are good. And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Grayo, good morning, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Good to see the legend in the house. Morning, Sal, brother. Hope you're well. Morning, everyone. Please don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much, Grayo. Absolute legend, of course. Thank you so much, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up, Freddie. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Ricardo. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope everything is blessed with you, my guy, of course. Good morning. Absolutely. And no, we wish, I mean, of course, we're a classy bunch, guys. And I would wish Onana the best of luck. I wish Onana the best of luck. I'm not going to be horrible. I'm not going to be nasty. I'm not going to be saying bad words and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, you know, what I would say is it hasn't worked out. And that's life. Sometimes things don't work out. And you know what? Whatever happened with Onana is what happened. I knew Onana wasn't good enough a long, long time ago. I knew in 2017 when he played the final against Man United for Ajax. I knew then he wasn't good enough because, you know, he made 2 vital errors in that game. And you know what? It hasn't worked out. And I wish him the best of luck. I hope he goes to Turkey. Great country, Turkey. He's going to have a great time. He's going to, you know, play for Trabzonspor. And it's a competitive league as well. So let's wait and see what happens, of course, guys. So wait and see what happens. Stephen, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Well, good to say it's all down to Onana and the coaches at United. He couldn't but coach a cold. Mustn't listen to Trey. I mean, there's some players, Stephen, that just are oblivious to criticism. There's some players that are oblivious to improving as a footballer. Even during the Alex Ferguson times when we had David Beckham, we had Eric Cantona, we had all these players at the football club, they were staying behind training and improving their craft. You know, even though they were champions, even though they were world-class players already, they would still stay behind training and improve their craft. In regards to some of the players that play at Man United now, a lot of those players feel like they're invincible. I'm at Man United. I've done everything. I'm the bee's knees, etc., etc. And with that, when you don't have self-criticism, when you can't be critical about yourself, you can't improve as a person, as a goalkeeper, in any walk of life. You can't improve. And I think this is the thing with Onana. I mean, when I saw Onana make mistakes, I never saw one time from the first mistake he made when he got lobbed from the halfway line in that preseason friendly. He never said, "Guys, my bad. Sorry, guys." Never. All he does the same thing. He'll pull up his socks and that's it. No, sorry, lads. My bad. I made a mistake. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And he never did that. And this is the thing about accountability. This is the thing about putting yourself out there, saying that, you know what, I was wrong. I should do better. I know my standards and I should improve. It was always like, well, you know, that's life. Sometimes things happen, you know. So, and then this is the thing that made me think, is this guy care? Is he serious? Does he care about Man United? You know, does he care about winning? You know, and from then, it has been a barrage, a domino effect of mistakes that have cost Man United Champions Leagues, has cost Man United points in the Premier League, has cost Man United in the Europa League last season against Tottenham Hotspur, because we know that any competent goalkeeper last season would have saved that goal against Tottenham. You know, we know that as well. Tybug. Amorim has the support from the owners in terms of freedom and get rid of the wrong players. Yes, I think I read down big up the Tyborg, absolutely. Helge, in a year's time, we'll have almost a full squad of Amorim players and all the free loaders are out. I can't wait. That's why we need to stick with the process. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we have to stick with the process, Helge. What else are we going to do? Because we'll be going into the realms of what we're doing, what we've been doing over and over again. It's insanity to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Now it's time we back this manager. I know there's going to be content creators out there. There's going to be people out there. Get him out my club. Get him out my club, bruv. Get him out my club. He's a fraud, bruv. He's a fraud. We know we're going to get that, isn't it? We're going to get that this season. And it's very important that some of the fan base, because we're not going to win every game. We're going to lose some. We're going to draw some, you know. But ultimately, as the bigger picture is that what we need to look at. Right? We need to look at it. Of course, if Ruben Amorim comes bottom half of the table next season, he's not going to last very long. It should improve, and he will improve. I've been impressed with the way Man United have played in the first 3 games, in particular the Arsenal game. I thought we played very well. The Burnley game in the first half, I thought we should have been like 3 or 4. We should have been out of sight in the first half in that Burnley game, to be honest with you. And I've been impressed with some of the characteristics this team is showing. And I thank Ruben Amorim for this. It's Ruben Amorim who's doing it, you know. there's going to be a lot of criticism. There's going to be a lot of crying and screaming and shouting. Of course there is. The tactics, the formations. Well, you don't dominate games against Arsenal if the tactics don't work. Let me tell you that right now. And if you want to talk about goals, let's talk about Erik ten Hag's minus goal difference as well with a 4-3-3. It's all about, you know what, being perseverance, being patient and supporting your manager, supporting the players that we currently have. Because we cannot change what is now. Even though we needed a midfielder, of course we needed a midfielder. We cannot change what is now. But I'm very excited what the future brings. I do believe Man United are going to bring in 2 midfielders in the summer. Guys, I'm hearing that we're going to bring in 2 midfielders in the summer, which will be good, will be great. If we get a Baleba, if we get a Wharton, absolutely fantastic. You get those 2 players in that team, we'll be dominating English football, guys, for a very long time. We're already a decent football team, but you get those 2 in the middle, guys, I'm telling you right now, you fix that midfield, Man United are going to go a long way. Let me tell you that right now, and we're going to be moving forward, moving all up, as them people once said, of course, absolutely. Trigger Kim, we have no mixer, 1 game a week. Man United should be bring players who wants to play for Man United, not players who are after the money. Absolutely, Saviour. Big up everyone who's joined me today, of course. Big up Albie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Of course, the good days are coming back. Come on, Albie. I really hope so. We really hope so. I do have a good feeling. I do have a good vibe about it. But you know what? We can't be impatient. You know, like at the end of the day, there's some people like Trigger Kim who's out there for the manager's head, out there for the blood, and he went around in the late 90s to understand what Alex Ferguson did, like I was. You know what I mean? People don't understand the culture of the football club. You know, they support the football club from miles and miles away, but they don't understand the history of the football club. They need to learn the history of the football club and learn what we are, where we came from, and our culture. You know what I mean? Learn the Man United's culture. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's what people should do. And realize where we come from. If we all went out on the way some fans were acting in the late 80s, right? In the early 90s, we wouldn't even, none of these people would be here right now supporting Man United. If it weren't for people like me and the other folks who were there at the time when people wanted Alex Ferguson out the door, none of these people want to be here right now supporting Man United. Probably be supporting Arsenal, probably supporting Liverpool, probably supporting Chelsea or some nonsense like that, you know? Morning, Benny. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're blessed. Good to see you, of course. Helge, the season isn't a write-off, but we still have 90% of the players from the other managers. When Amorim gets the time to turn things around, I believe he will be the legend of this club. I also believe that. My friend also believe that as well, Helge. You know, what I would say is that we have to be understanding of the context. Context, as I've said, I keep banging on about context. Context is a very important word here. He has not been fully backed, guys. Not been fully backed. And this is one thing we have to say. He's been backed about the outgoings. Okay, late, but better late than never. But in regards to players in, you haven't got the midfielder, you haven't got the right wing back, you haven't got cover in the defense, and you got just about got the goalkeeper in the door. Guys, very late as well, 4 games into the season. So what I would say is that we have to be a little bit patient. We have to practice patience. And let me tell you, patience is a virtue, and patience is so underrated, right? And also context. Context and patience go hand in hand, you know, because at the end of the day, we have to look at things for the way things are this summer. You know, people are going to be looking at things like, right, we got Sesko, we got Mbumo, we got Cunha. He's got 1 game a week. We should be winning. No. He should be winning. 1 game a week. He should be winning. No. They don't understand nothing about football. Honest to God. You know, and not thinking about the toxicity within this football club, the derelict building with the full of asbestos that I've been talking about all week, what this football club is, you know, and what Ruben Amorim walked into, you know, at the end of the day. And there's still asbestos in that football club. We've still got the Glazers there, for heaven's sake. Good morning, Dembo. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Good news, Nana. Let's hope he's like this in 2026, as there'll be some dead wood to shift. There still is. Absolutely, Dembo. Obviously, we still got Luke Shaw at the football club, and obviously Casemiro may be leaving the football club as well, of course. So that is, let's play that by ear. But yeah, looking forward to what the future brings. At the moment, though, I'm really looking forward to the Man City game. I'm looking forward to Man United playing football again. I'm tired of the international break already, guys. It is all about the Man City game, and it's all about getting a result against Manchester City and not losing to Manchester City, of course. Matheus Cunha is fit for the game against Manchester City. Whether he will start or not is another question, of course, because obviously, you know, being match fit and stuff is a little bit different. But it does look likely he could be starting for Manchester United in that game, of course, guys. With great news. Also, in regards to Mason Mount, his injury doesn't look as serious as first feared. he could be back as well. Now, look, what does that mean? What does it all mean? It all basically means that I want to see Sesko play, guys. I really do. I want to see Sesko played, and I want to see the free play, Burma, Cunha, and Sesko. That's what I want. I know he'll probably play Mason Mount. If Mason Mount is fit, he'll probably play Mason Mount, to be honest with you, because obviously you want to control things in that area of the pitch. But we're going to have to wait and see. Donald Cullen, big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the compliments. Thank you very much. Likewise, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Very nice to get a compliment in the morning, of course. Thank you so much. I don't think so. I need a haircut and everything. I'm an absolute mess. It's like this when you're renovating a house. You renovate from room, take the furniture by the new. It's what I've been talking about, mate. It's what I've been talking about, derelict building. What do you think that is, Helge? A derelict building. What do you think it is, bruv? What do you think asbestos is, bruv? I know you want to be Sal. I know you want to be me, Helge, but, I'm joking. But, yeah, look, it is like walking into a derelict building. It is, obviously, you walk into a derelict building. It looks lovely from the outside. You walk in, and there's mess all over the place, right? And asbestos, and you have to clear it up bit by bit. And exactly what you say, like building a house, of course, Helge, absolutely. My bro, Stephen, do you think Casemiro and Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw will be soon? I think they'll be leaving soon. I do. I think there will be an even more potent, ruthless rebuild next summer. I really do feel that. What I'm hearing is that, as I spoke about yesterday, Harry Maguire could be leaving the football club. Some may say at last, but I think he's a very good professional. I think he's done very well at Man United in regards to his professionalism. Talent-wise, it's iffy, but yeah, look, professionalism is top of the classroom, of course. In regards to Luke Shaw needs to leave, Luke Shaw does need to leave the football club. Out of all the players that we've got rid of, apart from obviously Garnacho and Sancho and Rashford, out of all the players that need to leave, Luke Shaw is surviving. He is a bloody dung beetle, that guy. He could survive a bloody nuclear war, that guy, absolutely. Thank you so much, Harold, you legend. Thank you so much, my friend. Revert 7, Revert 7. Player SC on Twitter are annoying, but everyone in their favourites, I suppose. Good morning. So everyone has their favourites, but I've never been the type of person to put my favourite footballer ahead of my football club. Unfortunately, these people, they put their favourite footballer ahead of their football club. And also they put their opinion ahead of the football club. So basically what it is, as long as it fits their narrative, they're happy with that, right? They would much rather the club burn and be right than be wrong and the club succeed. And that is where I have a problem with it, because there's so many people like that now. And the content creators out there as well. Bruv, he's a bald fraud, bruv. He's a Portuguese fraud, bruv. I've seen the treble, bruv. No, you haven't, bruv. No, you haven't. And that's what I would say, guys. And look, what I would say is that these people are not entirely Man United fans. They're fans of themselves. They're fans of their opinion, and as long as they're right, they're happy to support Man United. But if they're wrong, they're like, no, that's not true. No, you're wrong. You're this, you're that, and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Big up, LT. How you doing, my friend? Good to see LT back in the house. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. Big up Sal, big up yourself. Amorim is trying to change the weak mentality culture at this football club, and he's the first post-Alex Ferguson who sees what we fans see and who are the players that we need to leave. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The silent, the smiling assassin. That is what Ruben Amorim is. The smiling assassin. This is Ruben Amorim, and this is what we're talking about. Absolutely, LT. I expect nothing less from you, LT. You come out with the great comments because you think, well, I think. And this is exactly what it is at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? This is the first manager who's actually ruthless, who's actually doing a rebuild. Not only get rid of the players you expect to get rid of, we're talking about players that, you thought we'd never get rid of. I mean, Onana's only been at the football club for 2 years. You've got the likes of, Rashford and Sancho, who are not going to be playing for this football club anymore. But no, never again, and that's good news, and we won't see them at the football club anymore. And that's good and that's what you talk about a rebuild. I know it's going to be unpopular. The only thing we could throw at Ruben Amorim is obviously the Bruno Fernandes situation. That's it. But at the end of the day, you can't get rid of everyone in one summer. And at the end of that, I think that Bruno Fernandes deserves a little bit of respect, given that he's always fit for Man United. He fights for the cause, etc., etc. I personally don't have any favourites because we don't have world-class players. I don't care if we have world-class players or not, mate. We never used to have world-class players. We used to have players who played in the team, Revert 7. We never used to have, for example, the Thierry Henrys and stuff. Yeah, we had a scattering of world-class players over the years. Of course we did. But we didn't have necessarily... John O'Shea wasn't world-class. Tom Cleverley wasn't world-class. Darren Fletcher, some say, wasn't world-class. Wes Brown wasn't world-class. You know, we supported the football team. And that is something that we need to get back to, is supporting the football team. Forget about if they got world-class players or not. I couldn't care less. I care about the football team. That's all I care about. And that's all I've been. You grow up, you like certain players. You think, oh, that's the kind of player. I like that player. But you don't support them because of that. You support them because I support Man United because of the history and stuff like that. And that's why I supported Man United. Not because he's my favourite player and not because we got world-class players and stuff like that. And that's how we do it. Big up, Revert Sam. Football Freak. Out of the 16 players we bought under Ten Hag, it's only 4 left. Of course, some of the 12 are out on loan. Yeah, only 4 left, which is good news. But guys, we have to also remember, in regards when I talk about context here, we still got players from the Louis van Gaal days. Obviously, Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw are still at the football club technically. Obviously, Marcus Rashford's on loan, but he's still at the football club. And obviously, we got obviously Luke Shaw as well. Who has been there since the Louis van Gaal days. And I firmly believe we need to move on from them times. I really do. I think Luke Shaw is one of them. He's a symbolization of who we are over the last, 12, 13 years. He is the symbol. It's Luke Shaw, right? He's the one who you put and you say, this guy has sacked how many managers? Not directly, but he's been involved in it, hasn't he? Because he played under those managers and stuff like that, didn't he? Hoping Cunha and Mbeumo step up this season. They already have Revert 7. I think they have been very good so far. They've been very good, in my opinion. Mbeumo won the Player of the Month. Good morning, Red Fred 55. Good morning, Sal. Credibility slowly returning to this great club. Big up, Red Fred. I agree. Absolutely. Big up, Red Fred, of course. Big up, D. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, of course. Trigger Kim. The club is bigger than the players or the manager. I shall judge the both because we finished 15th and should happen again. Mate, what you should do, Trigger Kim, you should listen to me who supported the football club for 15 years. Right? You judge a team when you look at things in context and not from your hateful narrative, because that's where you're coming from. I know you, bruv. You know what I mean? That's where you're coming from. At the end of the day, there's Hearts of Oak and Ghana you could support if you like them. If you want to support them, mate, you can support them. Go and support them, bruv. Maybe they're looking for some fans. Because at the end of the day, you don't understand Man United's culture. Because I know what you're like. I'm going to judge you. And when he makes one mistake, that's it. I am not with him anymore. He's useless. He's this. This is the problem, bruv. Now, this is the problem with the fan base. Look at things in context. Don't like, I'm going to judge him because we came 15th last season. You're supporting my football club, bruv. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Understand what we're talking about, mate. I've seen it been to nearly 1,000 games myself. So what you talking about, mate? I'm going to judge him. I'm going to judge. Mate, you're talking a very sinister and bitter way, bruv. You know what I mean? You want to support this great football club, learn your history, and get an education. Helge, I think more players will leave in January, enabling us to bring more in January, of course. The same for the summer. I can't wait for it. Players can play. Absolutely, Helge. Agree with that, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up everyone. Big up the good-looking people in the house, unlike Trigger Kim. Onana was lucky he lasted 2 years at United. Unlucky for us. Calamity. It was a calamity. It was a disappointing situation for Man United. It's been a disappointing spell. Look, every single player comes into this football club. We want them to succeed. We want them to succeed. And, unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for Onana. And that is just the way it is. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. It just have to move on. Benny, all the top teams hold each other to accountability, call each other out in the dressing room. It's the healthy way. Absolutely. Standards. Players know what's expected or they'll be called out. Absolutely. Revert 7. There has been more positive than the negatives in the first few 3 games. That is down to the manager. Absolutely. It's down to the manager. And the manager's tasked with the task of actually changing the culture at this football club. It's Ruben Amorim is doing this. It's Ruben Amorim is doing this. He's changing the culture at this football club. Do you know what I mean? And that's what he's doing. Big up. Ephraim. Sal, which players we need to sell next summer? We'll have to wait and see. Big up, Ephraim. Definitely need 2 midfielders. Absolutely. I think, as you said, like as we've been saying, like a Wharton or a Baleba will be absolutely fantastic. People forget so quickly. Amorim was the favourite on all the polls for the Liverpool job when Klopp left. Absolutely. He smashed City 4-1 away. Then suddenly he's a fraud. Not having it. There's some people who will have that, mate. There's some people who feed from this narrative and they've already made their choice up about Ruben Amorim and they won't change their choice. And this shows you that they don't care about the football club. They just care about their own ego. And that's what it is at the end of the day. And I will call out mistakes when I call out mistakes. People have been there on my streams. People know what I'm like. People know when we pick the team, I'm like, why are we playing that player? Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? But when the match starts, I'm supporting Ruben Amorim. I'm supporting those players. And that's how it should be at the end of the day, guys. At the end of the day. Pull up his socks or sip water from his bottle and act casually as if nothing absolutely happened. His bad attitude coincident. I mean, big up Revenger. Big up Revenger. I hope you're doing well. You're absolutely right. And it's like a defense mechanism where he would drink a bit of water. It's nothing to do with me, mate. You should be doing your job and stuff like that. It's a bit like that, isn't it? And he wouldn't take accountability for it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I agree with that, Revenger. Absolutely, absolutely. Once the attack starts to gel, there will be more goal spoilers from Steve. We need that. Oh, goodness me, Kenny. Steve is in the future. I need to get what Steve's got. Sal, why do we not perform for 90 minutes? Mate, I'm not going to get into that, Kenny. I'm not here for 100 questions, Ephraim. Sorry. Not sorry, Kenny, Ephraim. I'm not here for 100 questions, brother. Lamens, my ball knowledge is not free. Lamens will Lissandro Heaven delete. I'm only joking. Delete Yoro Mazra. We settled in defense for years. Cunha and Bremer and Sesko up top. We're not that far away as people think. We're not that far away, mate. But what's very important, Helge, what's very important is that what people need to do is they need to take a little bit of the patience thing. They need to. Because I'm seeing a lot of cynicism. I can read comments. I can read community comments and I can see the hatred and sinister nature of their comment. I can read in between the lines. When I'm reading a comment, I'm like, you are against Ruben Amorim and you want Ruben Amorim to fail. Because you're saying, well, he better do this and he better do that because you know what? We came 15th last season. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like this. You can tell that they don't really want him to succeed. And this is what the annoying thing is for me. It's disgraceful. And this is what we're talking about. Some people just shouldn't be at this football club, support this football club. Nah. Stephen, the team doesn't seem to focus for 90 minutes. That's been happening since Eric Ten Hag days. Everyone a minute behind Steve. I think Steve as a time traveler. I think as well. I actually think that as well. Absolutely. We have been beaten City away under Amorim with the worse squad than now. We also beat City 4-1 with Sport and we can't win against City. I believe that as well. Absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. You know, at the end of the day. Baba Flossie, good morning. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see Baba Flossie in the house. So that's his brother recommended Massimo Tayabi to him and lasted only 5 games, but Onana lasted 2 seasons. Maybe Tayabi should have been given more matches to prove himself. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, Baba Flossie, when people talk about Massimo Tayabi, what people have to understand about Massimo Tayabi, and I've said it yesterday, is that he came in and he's following in the shoulders of greatness. Number one, Peter Schmeichel, isn't it, at the end of the day? And he only played 5 games. You cannot judge people after 5 games. Like you can't judge a manager after 5 games. You can't judge someone like Massimo Tayabi after 5 games. He was a decent goalkeeper, but obviously the mistake against Southampton, it was really bad. Obviously, I think we lose against Liverpool 3-2 or something like that? And obviously after that, we dropped him. And I think it was a little bit unfair on Massimo Tayabi, and he gets painted with this brush that he was a terrible goal. However, Onana's had over 50 games for Man United, and he's played in some big games for Man United, and you know what? He's had chances at Man United. He can't turn around and say he hasn't had a chance. Casemiro and Bruno will probably leave next summer. That will leave 2 spots open for a couple of midfielders to come in. Ineos better deliver. I mean, I hope so. I mean, it does look like a couple of players will be leaving in that midfield position, of course. Wharton and Baleba, guys. Lamine Kamara, Luciano Gume. Oh, what about that? That will be absolutely fabulous if we can get those players in the team. Absolutely brilliant, of course. Onana out is big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Akafor, hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Good to see you, of course. Mourinho called out the likes of Shaw and Martial ages ago. Yes, Shaw shouldn't be at this football club anymore. I'm tired of Luke Shaw. I don't know why Luke Shaw's still at this football club. It's ridiculous at the end of the day. Grayo, 135 likes in the chat. Only 135 people in the chat. Only 33 likes, guys. Guys, minimum 50 to 100 likes, guys, every single day. We need to. Look, guys, I've got 139 in the house now. Why have we not got 100 likes, guys? Come on, guys. Don't forget to smash the likes. Thank you so much, Grayo. Big up, my friend. Absolutely. Revert 7. Amorim knows what he wants and knows what is needed to discuss. Yeah, he knows. He's a smart man. At the end of the day, what are people expecting? What are people expecting? You know what I mean? They expect, some people want him to fail. And this is what it really irritates me. You know, especially people who intimidate Manchester United fans, you know? Keane, Scholes, Giggs, Beckham was world-class. Yes. Yeah, they were world-class. No, but not all of them were world-class. Andy Cole was world-class. I would say Andy Cole was world-class. I would say, to an element, Dwight York was probably world-class for a couple of seasons. You're looking at Gary Neville. Very good. You know, you look at Jaap Stam, I would say he's world-class. But it was never about that because we also won leagues with Wes Brown, Gibson, Fletcher, Cleverley. And none of these players are world-class. Fabio, Raphael, you know, Spectre. None of these players were world-class, guys. You know what I mean? And this is what we have to understand. It was all about the team. You know, it's all about the team. No, you don't need to tell me we're at 7. I was there, brother. Just saying that I'm a Manchester United fan because my father is. Big up. Big up, my friend. Eric Ten Hag bought us crappy players. Some of them, obviously, Licha Martinez is a very good player, in my opinion. Schmeichel was an all-time great. Yeah, one of the greatest of all time. I hear good things about Lamens. You heard it from here, mate, first. Absolutely. Because Amorim needs better tools. Yeah. There are too many cooking and what's that? Balling people and our fan base. Absolutely. There are a lot of them. Vibes fans. I call them vibes fans. I call them fans that are all about vibes. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, and they don't really care about the football club. They care about clicks and likes. Sorry, guys. This is the place you should be. It's Stretford Post. This is where the real is, guys. At the end of the day, Benny. Revert saying for me, Peter's the best Premier League goalkeeper. He's the best goalkeeper of all time, in my opinion, Benny. And that's it. Who is changing the culture of the football club? Amorim or Ratcliffe? Amorim, mate. Amorim. Who else? Amorim did the same at Sporting Lisbon. Grayo. Guys, likes up. Come on, guys. Let's get this. I agree, Benny. For me, the best ever. He is the best ever. Goalkeeper, of course. But Man United didn't necessarily have a team full of, like, what Revert 7 says, I don't have favourite players because we ain't got world-class players. What's that all about, Revert 7? Come on, mate. I wish you had the power to fast forward this week to Sunday. Can't wait for the game. But I'm an important brat when it comes to, I'm a patient brat, not an important brat, but you're an important brat, but you're an impatient brat as well. When it comes to waiting for United game, absolutely, mate, absolutely, Elge. I just want it to come. I really do. Take it one game at a time. Big up, Kenny. Sal, all these are the same people who want Amorim to come and saying, that's what they want. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for it already. They're waiting for that fraud thing, you know, and I'm not on that. Big up, Peter. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well, brother. I hope you're doing good. Good to see you. Of course. It's only one game a week now until the FA Cup. Yeah, absolutely, Stephen. The best compliment I can give to Amorim is that I don't know what is going to happen, but I trust that he will make the right call. I mean, at the end of the day, Helge, what are you, 30? Under 30, right? You haven't seen what I've seen, right? Like, and no offense, and many people haven't. And the thing is that I'm seeing characteristics of Ruben Amorim in regards to Alex Ferguson. I'm seeing some characteristics in the way he did things, you know, in the initial stages when Alex Ferguson was at the football club. Also in 1995, 96, when he got rid of a lot of players. I'm starting to get those sort of vibes in regards to Ruben Amorim. And I like what I'm seeing. I really do. And I'm enjoying myself. And I'm excited to see what the future holds. I really am. To be fair, was a good keeper. Serie for Venezia. Onana had one decent season at Inter. Absolutely. Inter fans were surprised we spent for it. Yes, they were. They bit our hand off. Sal, you're getting greedy now, like me with the Belabor and Wharton. Benny, I've always been like that, brother. I said Belabor and Wharton from March. I said that's what we need. And you just concurred with me. Great minds think alike and all that, as we say, don't we, Benny, at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Onana out is my sweetest joy. Peter, big up, my friend. Big up, my friend. I'm glad you're happy, brother. I'm glad you're happy. It's funny how the metrics show that we were playing well due to the results. Fans are quickly to doubt the manager when even the eye test shows we played well. Because they already made their choice, Alty. They've already sacrificed their head into diving headfirst into something they can't see. And this is what's happening with certain fans. You know what I mean? They dive headfirst into things, you know, and what it is, it's an egomaniac thing where they don't want to be proven wrong because it might make them look stupid. And that's what it is. And that's why they do it. No one ever will go to one of those channels and say, you were wrong about this person, weren't you? You were wrong about that, weren't you? You were wrong. None of them would turn around and say, I was wrong about De Gea. Not one of them would turn around and said, I was wrong about David De Gea. I backed David De Gea all the way from the beginning all the way to the end. I never once said, get him out of my football club. You know, none of them have turned around and said, oh, you know what? We were wrong about David De Gea. We were wrong about him. None of them. Absolutely not. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Big up yourself. Albie. We also won a match with 7 defenders on the pitch. Albie. Alex Ferguson would win a match with Raphael and Fabio, right midfield, left midfield. Gibson and Fletcher in the centre-backs. Carrick in a centre-back position. We went to Wolfsburg in Germany and won 3-1 with that sort of lineup. You know what I mean? This is what the genius is. It's not just about we had world-class players all over the pitch. It weren't just that. Alex Ferguson was a genius. Alex Ferguson was a genius. Stephen, I know what you meant, pal. I'm joking. Big up, big up, big up. Big up, everyone. Kenny, you weren't around at that time. How old were you in 2008, my friend? 2009? 5? I remembered. You remembered, Kenny. You were 5 years old, brother. Probably somewhere else, not in Australia. I would love to see a Sal versus a bruv of Amorim outer. The people who want to bring Sancho and Rashford back mate, it would be embarrassing, mate. It would be embarrassing. Look, I've been down this road before. I've had competitions before with people. I've been on KG's channel. I've spat the birds and the bees, and I've told these people about it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and they haven't come back with any answers. I mean, if they want to come in, they're more than welcome, but they would lose. And I'm sorry, but that's what it is at the end of the day, you know, because I actually support the football club. I know the history. Ouattara, big up my friend. Next summer we should get Belaba. I agree. Adam Wharton and Malik Fofana from Olympiacos Lyonnais. Olympic Lyonnais. Big up. That would be lovely, Ouattara. Big up to see you, mate. I hope you're doing well. Absolutely. Big up, we are happy with your good work. Big up United Terrace. Hope you're doing well. We will soon invite you to United Stand and the Football Terrace. The United Terrace, I don't know if you're the real one because I've been on the Football Terrace before, not the United Terrace. I've been on the Football Terrace before, and big up Terry and all that. I'm not sure the right one, my friend, but big up Terry and big up the Football Terrace and big up United Stand, of course. I've been on the Football Terrace 3 times. Helge, I haven't lived those times, but I trust you in saying that you are the same about Amorim. I saw the way you refreshed the squad in 05 was impressive. Absolutely. It's all about doing the research, isn't it, mate? It's all about doing the research and understanding our history. Of course, guys, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Some people don't want to do that. Some people just, I don't want to know about it. It's the past. But not remembering that our past is why we're here today. And this is what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Ouattara, my friend, the current problem of Manchester United is Bruno Fernandes. It's a lot of people's opinion. I'm not going to say anything, but it is a lot of opinion. I'm not going to dismiss that opinion, guys. Absolutely. Still only 33 likes, guys. What's going on? I've got 142 in the house. I should have 100 likes, guys. I should have 100 likes. Definitely, guys. Absolutely, guys. Believe in Amorim, my friend Peter. He makes see dreams and coming back. I do as well. And unfortunately, some people got their blinkers on and they don't want to see it. But we can see it, Peter. We believe in it, Peter. Ruben Amorim's army. That's what it's all about, of course, because that is what we are, guys. Ruben Amorim's army. That's what we're all about. Benny. The similarities between Ferguson and Amorim are uncanny. Exactly. They are. The way he's doing things. He's just younger. That's all. He's younger, you know. Or looks younger, but everyone looked old when I was back in them days. You know what I mean? He looks like he's doing what I remember. He's giving me nostalgia. The way he's doing things, he's giving me nostalgia. Like, no, I don't want that player at my football club anymore. That's enough. No, don't want him. He can go. Simple. Carrick was class. Last top midfielder we had. The last midfielder we had. Yeah, the last good one. Yeah. Some may say Herrera workhorse. wasn't quite in the level of Carrick, but was a workhorse, and I would take him now, to be honest with you. Ephraim, Sal, I see some content creators say we should did not perform against. I do not think they know about football. They don't, Ephraim. They know about, what I would say is that they know about their opinion. They don't know about anything else. They don't stretch their opinion. They're not versatile in their opinion. They don't have a broader scope of knowledge about football. They have my opinion. Whatever you say doesn't matter. Even if you present them with the facts, you come in like bloody, you come like Professor Columbo. One more thing. What about this? And they'd be like, no, but. Even though the evidence is overwhelming, they won't do it. They won't agree. And that's the problem, isn't it? Absolutely. Seeing basically every pre and post match presser of Ferguson since I was 10 years old, I see lots of similarities between they talk and behave in press. Absolutely love it. Me too, brother. Me too. Revet 7, to be fair, good in his first season. That's about it. Yeah, but what I would say about Casemiro, Real Madrid, you know, one thing about Real Madrid sell players for a reason. You know, when you think about Varane and you think about Casemiro, they sell players for a reason. There's always a reason behind the madness, I would say, in regards to Real Madrid and selling players. You know, Casemiro was finished, and everyone knew he was finished. And they knew that Varane was finished as well. And they got rid of him. Casemiro should have been gone last season. I think he's finished. He's past his best. But let me just give credit to Casemiro, because Casemiro has been a generational player for the last 12 years. I just think he's past it now. And that's normal. That's natural. It's human nature. Benny, the similar to Amorim are uncanny when they came to the club at first. Absolutely. Good morning, Ellen. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Ferguson won 2-0 in the FA Cup 2011. Raphael, Fabio, Darren Gibson, and John O'Shea in midfield. Ferguson was a genius. There you go. Absolutely. Rest my case, Watara. Rest my case. It weren't about world-class players, because we didn't always have world-class players in the first team, right? Especially in Alex Ferguson's latter years, right? We didn't have world-class players, but we still managed to win things. And it was never about being a world class. I never supported Man United because they had world class. I started supporting Man United because they're Man United, because of the history, the Busby Babes and things like that. And that's how every Man United fan should think, of course. You know what I mean? 49 likes, guys. 140 watching, guys. 50 likes. Come on, guys. Let's get to that, guys. Big up, VJ. How you doing, my friend? Premier League is all about results. Ruben doesn't have time for mistakes. VJ, look, at the end of the day, I've already told you about the birds and the bees, mate. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to tell you about the birds and the bees again, VJ. You know what I mean? Football is not, at the end of the day, you have to be patient to get the big things in life. You have to be a little bit more patient, bruv. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And you're not patient. And I can tell in your mannerism, you're not patient, mate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Good afternoon, good morning, where you are, VJ. You're becoming a cricket monger again. You're cricket. I don't like cricket. Oh, no. I love it. Guys, test match is on, VJ. Go and watch it. Ellen, big up, Ellen. Big up, my friend. 50 likes. Come on, big up, my friend. Grayo, big up yourself. Imagine the good days are coming. A speech of Amorim being played in a couple of years. My goodness. I mean, we've got people patient, mate. We've got people who don't understand Man United, guys, at the end of the day. Sal, if Casemiro is young, it would help us massive. It would be, absolutely. Big up Ellen, my friend. Big up my friend Ellen. Yeah, look, guys, look, we're going to have to be a little bit more patient, guys. A little bit more wait and see what happens. I support Ruben Amorim. That's all I care about. I support Ruben Amorim and I support Manchester United. Two things right there where I care about. I care about the results on the football pitch as well. As you said before, Sal, big up Helge. As you said before, Sal, I don't think people know how much better we'll be with the new wingbacks. I like Dorgu, but if we had a flex Nuno Mendes, it'd be a completely different story, Helge. Man United will be in the next stratosphere, of course, guys. Absolutely. One of the main reasons I started supporting Man United was because of Brian Robson. I was a kid in the 80s. Fair play. One of the reasons, the best reason, most important reason I supported Man United because of the Busby Babes. That's why I support Man United. I love the adversity to the stars thing. I really did. I love the history of Man United. I thought the history was beautiful, and it was a really, really beautiful thing. I mean, because thanks to my friend back in the day, who was from Salford, gave me a VHS tape of Man United back then and the magazine, and I just didn't look back. I mean, what I would say is that Manchester United pick you. You don't pick Man United. It's just the way it is. It just seems to work out. Timo. Big up, Timo, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. After a bad weekend, I woke up to the news. Onana gone. Make it easier. Big up, Timo. Big up, my friend. Absolutely. But Revert 7, you said we ain't got world-class players. Why you say that for? We ain't got world-class players, so I don't have Player FC. I don't have Player FC regardless if world-class players or not. I have a Man United FC. Goodness me. Goodness me. I don't care if we got world-class players, average players, as long as Man United win. That's all I care about. I don't care if we have the Teletubbies in midfield. I don't care. Man United win. I like players. I like certain players. I enjoy seeing certain players more than other players, but I don't have a favoritism in regards to world-class or not. I just want Man United to win. Absolutely, the greatest football story ever told, Revert 7, as you said. Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. The greatest football story ever told. Guys, that's why I can sit here and talk for hours about Man United. I can sit here for hours. I don't need to bring up spreadsheets or Google images or anything like that. This is not Alice Talks Football. I started supporting Man United a little bit in the modern. It was because I turned on the game and Keane and got red carded. And I should have known that, Helge. And United smashed into the tackles. I won 2-0. Big up, Helge. Big up. You don't understand the cricket analogy, VJ. Need a mix of youth and experience in the words of Roy Keane. Roy K. We're missing players like Beckham that can cross the ball or take the ball in. VJ, you don't need to tell me, bruv. I've seen Beckham live. I've seen all these players live. I know what Man United need, bruv, at the end of the day. But what Man United needed most of all when Alex Ferguson first came into this football club was patience. Mate, I can read in between the lines, mate. I read in between the lines. I know what you're on about. I know you want to be right. I know you're desperate to be right. You're desperate for Ruben Amorim to lose so you can come in there and say, I told you, bruv. I told you. I know you are in that mode, mate. But not in here, bruv. Not in here, mate. We're not. This is not that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Be patient. Calm your tits. And relax. And that's what I would say about it, guys. And at the end of the day. But big up, VJ. You're entitled to your opinion, but we got to be a little bit more patient, bruv. I don't like cricket. The test match is on. Sal, how can we change the mentality of this team? Ruben Amorim. I was 7. Big up, Helge. Helge, you got to stop arguing with old Lee. Spreadsheets like Alice, that's why you're my guy. I know you're talking about, and I agree so much. I'm laughing my head. Mate, look, I don't come on here. Well, look at it. Overprivileged YouTubers trying to talk about Man United, you know what I mean? The working man's club. APN. Modern footballers complain about their position nowadays, but I used to watch my favourites like Alan Smith. Bloody hell. You mean the Arsenal Alan Smith? Guys, you mean the Arsenal Alan Smith? All right. I thought you meant Alan Smith. I mean the Man United Alan Smith from back in the days. The United Alan Smith, of course. We will beat the top 6. That's not the problem. It's lower games. Yes, VJ, that's true. I agree with that, VJ. Absolutely do. I agree with the Brentfords and the Burnley was difficult, but Man United should have been out of sight in the first half. That's down to us, not Ruben Amorim. That's down to the players. What I would say is that you're absolutely right. Man United have no problem in beating Arsenal, in beating Chelsea, in beating Liverpool and teams like that. They have a problem with obviously Brentford and Tottenham and Newcastle and Everton and teams like that. And this is where we struggled at Bournemouth. This is where we struggled over the years. Brighton. And you get 3 points for every game you play. No matter what game you play, it's 3 points at the end of the day, isn't it? Absolutely. They are talking about football like it's a doctor's degree. I mean, why would you want to sit there and listen to an overprivileged person, right, talking about Man United, right, like this, like, looking at spreadsheets like this, like I'm bloody doing my bloody BTEC exam. Why would you want to do that? I know why people listen to it. I know why, but I'm not going to say it. United, which is your favourite United goal? My favourite United goal, you won't remember it. Andy Cole, scissor kick, Wimbledon in the 90s. You won't remember it. No. I like the Beckham goal from halfway line. I like the Rooney scissor kick. But I like Andy Cole scissor kick against Everton. Like against Everton. Big up Helge. Big up. Rooney goal versus City. A lot of people's, but you haven't seen that Andy Cole, Stephen. That's just the popular narrative. That goal from Andy Cole. Leicester, that's it, revert 7. You got Google in front of you. That's the best goal I've seen. I think Alice has been supported by another club. She is toxic and wants Amorim out. She is a Scousers. But then, yeah, Ellen, I love you, bro. I love you, man. I love you because you're saying it as it is. Thank you so much. She's overprivileged, right? And people don't understand this, right? They follow her because, you know what I mean? And she's been supported by everyone. You know, when you got people like me, who actually support the football club, who've actually no knowledge about the football club, without spreadsheets. You know what I mean? I don't need to do this show with spreadsheets, guys. You know what I mean? I don't need to do it. Absolutely. I agree, Grayo. In regards, Grayo, can I tell you something? In regards to feeling, Grayo, that gave me the best feeling ever. I would say that. That gave me the best feeling ever. You know, the best feeling ever was that goal versus Arsenal, Grayo. That Ryan Giggs goal against Arsenal was immaculate. The feeling I got that time, guys, down to 10 men, getting that. But, mate, is it just me? Or are all Man United goals underrated? Man United are never in the conversation. Guys, do you remember that Berbatov goal? Not Berbatov goal, but that Berbatov assist when he done that little spin just by the touchline, and he passed it for a tap-in. If that was Bergkamp, people would be going absolutely mad about it, you know? Roy, one of the worst, if not the worst goalkeeper in Premier League history. One of them, definitely statistically is Man United's worst. Held, I love the build-up from our own box with Berber and Evra against Blackburn when Berber finished. Yeah, from the touchline all the way to the top. I remember it. Yeah, very good, brilliant goal, great goal. And people don't want to talk about Man United goals. They don't want to talk anything positive. Likewise, brother. Do you remember it, Grayo, brother, it gives me, I feel like crying. Guys, honestly, when I think about these moments that we had as Man United fans, you cannot believe the feelings we had. That Giggs and the rivalry between Arsenal and Man United was like peak, guys, peak. And Giggs getting that ball and running the full length of the pitch, past Vieira, past Keogh, past Dixon, past all this, and then buried it in the top corner. My goodness me. Grayo, you've hit something on me there. My goodness me, what a time. What a time to be alive, guys. What a time to be alive. Was there a goalkeeper like Onana in the Premier League? Sanchez close, but not close. A goalkeeper like him, yeah. David James was worse. Barthez at least won a World Cup and he made great saves, right? Some great saves, but he was a bit of a clown, but he did make good saves as well. Revert 7. No, she is a young blonde streamer on YouTube. She has tics and talked really fast. What can we say? Alan is a legend for saying it as it is, and there's no lies to Spreadsheet Post. He's just spreadsheet content creator. That's what they are, spreadsheet content creators. They look. If you see a content creator, right, and I'll stop doing it because I don't want people to think that I ain't got knowledge. If you see someone putting up a spreadsheet or something in regards to Man United, question them. Ask them a question. As soon as they do that, say, "Excuse me, what was the score in the 1994 FA Cup final?" Tell them, and they were like, they'll change the subject. Absolutely. Alice is spread it. Pick up. Goodness me. Yeah, she does. She's not in the know either. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, she copies a lot of tweets. Like when I spoke about Senny Lamens 2024, she goes about Senny Lamens. Crazy. Kerry Kane played as a goalkeeper substitute for Tottenham once and played. Didn't John O'Shea play as a goalkeeper? Clean sheet record 1-1. 1 game, 1 clean sheet. 100% record is John O'Shea. 100% record. Shall I bring that into the show? John O'Shea is the best goalkeeper in Premier League history. Why, Sal? 100% record, clean sheets. 1 game, 1 clean sheet. 100% record, guys. Absolutely. Big up, Ellen. I love it. The realness in this channel. The difference between Stretford Post and the other channels out there is that we're not afraid. We're not afraid to speak it as it is. We tell it as it is, guys, and this community is the best for it. You speak about Lemonades, then she gets hired because she's a young woman and says the exact same thing as you say on Sky Sports if I speak. Knowledge is power, mate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's just the way it is. That's what they do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is, guys. Guys, I'm Helge. Big up yourself. Guys, thank you so much. Big up VJ. Much love, brother. Hope you're doing well. Remember, guys, we're in it together. Remember this. It's all about Man United. Glory, glory, Man United. I want to thank everyone who joined me today. And I want to thank the community as well. Because you know what? We may not agree all the time. We have banter. This is what this channel's about. It's about banter. If you cannot handle banter, it's not the place for you. Trust me, guys. But we're real. The great thing about this channel is that we're real. We will say things that they are. And as this community does. And this is why I love this community. And I love this being here, you know, talking to you guys. And otherwise, I would never have the opportunity to speak to great people like you. We are close to 13,000 subscribers. No, we're not on 100,000 subscribers, but we will get there, guys. Don't worry about that. The realness will pull through, of course, guys. You know what I mean? It's not about bots. It's about realness, guys, at the end of the day. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. And please smash a like, guys, please. Look, we've still got 105. Have we got 100 likes? We haven't got 100 likes, guys. Come on, guys. Get the likes up, guys. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Thank you so much. I'll be back for Chatterbox later on. Enjoy yourself. Don't worry. It is what it is. What happened will happen, of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, take it easy. And thank you so much, Helge. I really appreciate your compliments, brother. Keep spreading the word. Keep spreading the love, mate. Our only place where to have a good day. Big up, Helge. Thank you so much. Keep spreading love. Keep going to these channels and saying, Stretford Post said that. Stretford Post said that already. Why are you copying Stretford Post? Annoy them. Go and annoy them, guys. Say that, guys. Take it easy, guys. And I'll see you soon. Peace.